Has Marvel lost its crown in the movie industry? Looking into the past few months, the answer is yes. The once marvelous Marvel Studio continuously flopped in 2023. While Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 became a success with audiences and critics alike, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania earned itself the title of Marvel's largest disaster ever. And that's no matter the infinite allure of Paul Rudd.
Will I be there when the Avengers need me? Absolutely.
Wah, wah, wah. Will you cut that out?
And next up will be the Marvels. And this time, Brie Larson isn't bringing in any die-hard fans either. Box Office Pro shared their projects for the Marvels, claiming the film will only gross between $50 million and $75 million in its domestic opening weekend. They also predict it will bring in $121 million to $189 million at the domestic box office. These predictions are far lower than their initial long-range predictions for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania early this year. They initially predicted the film would gross between $96 million and $131 million in its opening weekend domestically, and go on to earn between $249 million to $347 million in its entire domestic run.
My name is Darren, and I am not a dick!
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania eventually had an opening weekend of $106 million and would go on to earn $214 million at the domestic box office for its entire theatrical run. Given Quantumania's estimated production budget of $200 million, the movie lost at least around $22 million. While the studio honestly hopes to show the tides with its subsequent launch, a few enthusiasts aren't so sure. The Marvels will drop in November and is ready to peer Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, crew up with Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, to decide why the three are swapping locations whenever they use their powers.
So we switch places whenever we use them.
The gang's all here.
The Marvel film can even see Zawe Ashton as the Kree General Dar-Benn.
The Annihilator. You took everything from me. Now I'm returning the favor.
The first reactions to its trailer had been quite strong. There are rumblings in the MCU fanbase that the movie won't top the franchise, however, flopped so bad that it will tank altogether. Here's why the Marvels will flop. It's already lost IMAX theaters. IMAX isn't be-all end-all of a film's release. However, it does play a pretty significant role in its status. That's why Tom Cruise was reportedly so peeved by Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer hogging IMAX theaters this summer, stealing screens from Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and why we can imagine that Marvel is pretty irritated by the latest news suggesting that Dune 2 will do the same to the Marvels. Dune 2 has reportedly secured an exclusivity deal with IMAX. The film stars the likes of Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Josh Brolin, and Florence Pugh, and is directed by Denis Villeneuve. It will debut in IMAX theaters on November 3rd, and it will then have a minimum of 4 weeks of exclusivity, meaning no other movie can be shown in IMAX during that time. Unfortunately, that means no IMAX theaters left for the Marvels, which is due for release on November 10th. For moviegoers who prefer the ultimate immersive theater experience, it remains to be seen just how much this will impact audience interest in seeing the film. Fan reactions to Brie Larson. It's no secret that Brie Larson isn't the most popular figure within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A certain demographic of Marvel fans has developed a grudge against the Oscar-winning actress since she became Carol Danvers. Brie Larson might be leaving her Captain Marvel character behind, as a news report claims the MCU actress is disillusioned with the backlash her role has been receiving. Larson first appeared as Carol Danvers in 2019's Captain Marvel, which ended up grossing over $1 billion at the worldwide box office. However, she's been at the forefront of some brutal backlash. According to MCU writers, Marvel is preparing for Larson's exit and is planning a soft reboot of the MCU with 2025's Avengers: Secret Wars. Marvel Studios put Brie Larson in a prominent place in the MCU, I don't know if Brie Larson was the wrong person for the role necessarily, but the toxic backlash means that Brie Larson doesn't want to play Carol Danvers anymore. The Marvels' performance has been way below expectations.
You break the rules and become a hero. I do it and I become the enemy.
The film could lose a lot of money, but is it necessarily Larson's fault? The future of Marvel is not necessarily up in the air. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has hinted that the 32 movies released so far barely scratch the surface of what he wants to further accomplish. However, Larson's departure would come off franchise anchors like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, leaving their respective superhero suits. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast are also goners. Still, if you're wondering where all this hate for Larson comes from, it seems to stem from her vocally political activism.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Larson is a gender equality activist. She's many times used her fame to speak out on social and political issues, asserting, "I'd put it all on the line and be an activist for the rest of my life because it doesn't feel right to me to be quiet." Captain Marvel was review bombed to no end. The Marvels trailer was like bombed for being woke, which is what led to similar reactions to The Little Mermaid, and we can imagine this pattern continuing for the film itself. And on the other hand, a Fandango poll suggests the contrary, that there's a lot of excitement for the Marvels. The Marvel Studios sequel topped the list of titles heading our way over the next couple of months, beating Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, Wonka, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and even Disney's animation Wish. Despite a dire 2023 for the DC Extended Universe, Jason Momoa seemingly remains a box office draw, as the hope among fans is that the King of Atlantis gets to go out on a high. Will results like these translate to box office success for both The Marvels and Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom? We'll soon find out. But until then, both will have to deal with the SAG-AFTRA strike. By the time The Marvels is released, SAG-AFTRA will be on strike for 4 months. While the Walt Disney Company and other studios are still in ongoing discussions with the union, it seems likely that a deal will be struck before the film's release date. As a result, it'll be forced to undergo a press tour without its stars. Considering how aggressive Kevin Feige and the studio typically are with their marketing, there's every chance that this could be detrimental to its performance at the box office, and add another entry to the ongoing list of Marvel flops. What do you think? Comment down in the section below and don't forget to like and subscribe.